Hello guys, welcome to Concept of Science. Today we will learn evolution of life. Life started on this planet 3.5 billion years ago. At that time, life was just like a cell. Very primitive, just like prokaryotic cells that are still present. Life was like that. It was formed through the chemical reaction. There was a condition in which many chemicals were present in a ball like situation, and due to lightning or cosmic radiation there was a condition formed due to which the chemicals combined and formed first cell. Now here in this video we will learn why that first cell, through this journey from 3.5 billion years ago to this point, became human beings, why it evolved and how it evolved. What is the theory behind it? The simple forms of life slowly diversified themselves, producing more and more complex forms. Different theories have been proposed to explain this phenomenon. We will learn three theories. Not all the three of them are correct, but we need to learn them. The first theory is theory of inheritance of acquired character. Jean-Baptiste Lamarck, a French biologist, proposed the first time in 1809 that the origin of new species of plant and animal was a result of biological evolution. So he was correct till that point. He explained that each environment has its specific need and organism strove to satisfy them. To satisfy the need, they did effort, and these efforts led to greater use or disuse of certain tissue and organ, bringing about some modification in the organism. What he wanted to say that if there is a need for a man to fly right now, he will start flipping his hand trying to fly. So if he continues to do that for a very long period of time, and all the men continue to do that, the effort to that need will lead to the evolution of wing in men, and one day men will be able to fly, and that's how species evolved. That's what he wanted to say, which is completely wrong. These modifications he felt were heritable, means a bodybuilder has developed good muscles, then the children of that bodybuilder will also have that muscle, which is not the case. This view is known as Lamarckism, or theory of inheritance of acquired characters. This has been proved wrong by August Weismann. What he did, he picked mice and cut their tail for several generations. Reported that the offspring of the tailless mice were always tailed even after his tail were cut for 21 generations. He thus explained what August did was to disapprove the idea of evolution proposed by Lamarck. He picked a mouse, cut the tail. He picked the offspring of that mouse and cut the tail. He then picked the offspring of this mouse and cut the tail. He did that to 21st generation, and then also the mice born was a perfectly healthy mice stealing food with a tail. So what he proved, that even though tails were cut for 21 generation, there was always a tail in the offspring. So now we come to the most important theory of this evolution, theory of natural selection. Charles Darwin is known as the greatest biologist of his time for his ideas about evolution. He collected a large number of specimens of plant and animal, rocks and fossils from different regions of the world. Based on his collection, he concluded that the species are as a result of natural selection. I will explain what natural selection is in a while. Alfred Russel Wallace also came to the same conclusion independently and communicated his thought to Darwin that look, this could be the reason of evolution. Darwin and Wallace published their work jointly in 1858, the time when India was fighting for the freedom. It was enslaved by the Britishers. They were exploring science. In 1958, they formed the theory of natural selection. Next year, Darwin published his detailed data in the form of a book on the origin of the species by means of natural selection. This book was a breakthrough book. This theory suggests all the living organisms overproduce, as a result of which competition ensures. There are more individuals in every generation, and that leads to competition because an organism needs something to feed, or there are some requirements for an organism. Only the fittest will survive in this competition. These individuals are selected by nature. Since no two individuals are exactly alike, natural selection selects the best. The slight changes will slowly bring about enough variation to create a new species. Now let me explain what he meant. by natural selection. Suppose there are 4 horses and they live in a place where there is a lion which loves eating horses. What is happening? This horse is very big, so cannot run fast. This horse is very small, so cannot run fast. This horse is not so big, not so tall, but cannot run fast. These are average runners. Then there is one horse which can run very fast, fastest among these. So what happens when the lion chases them? They run. This one gets away. First time it is the slowest one is caught, second time this one is caught, third time this one is caught. But this particular horse is always away. Lion is not being able to capture this horse. So what is happening? What will happen to the next generation? This horse will die without producing offspring. This horse also will die. This horse also will die. But this horse will produce offspring, and those offspring will be like them, because you are like your mother, father. So this successful running horse will produce children. So these horses will be, there is more chance that these horses will be runners. So what happened? That there is natural selection. The running was the trait which was needed at that time. Nature provided that, you can say, catalyst, and that led to the horse. Let us learn the next example of natural selection. This is an example of where the population of peppered moth was considered. In England, before Industrial Revolution, there were more white colored moths. In the Industrial Revolution, there were more black colored moths. After the Industrial Revolution, there are again more white colored moths. Why? Why it is so? It is because the moth used to sit on the trees, and the bark of these trees were infested by the lichen. Earlier, before the Industrial Revolution, the color of these lichens were white. So when the white moth sat on those trees, they were camouflaged and the birds could not pick and eat them. During the Industrial Revolution, due to the pollution, these lichens died or got reduced in number. So what happened? That the white one, like this one, is sitting on a bark. It is clearly visible, so birds are eating these one. But the black ones, which were earlier before the pollution, were sitting easily and camouflaged. So white population decreased and black population increased. After the Industrial Revolution, what happened? That there was sharing of knowledge that pollution is happening. So people grew conscious and pollution reduced. And due to reduction in the pollution, again what happened? That the lichen growth occurred on the trees. You can see the tree became again white. So now what happened? That the black one was exposed and the white one was camouflaged. So the population of the black moth decreased and the population of the white moth increased, because now birds could easily see these moths and kill them. So this is an example where, due to natural forces, a certain type of individual of a species is preferred and that survives, and that black one, whether it is strong or not, will not survive because it has a trait that is not acting in its favor according to the nature. So these two examples clearly explain the meaning of the natural selection. The third theory is mutation theory. This is an advanced theory which addresses the exact problem of how evolution occurred. The first word is mutation. This is the reason why there is variation. What happens? That during the replication of the DNA, and what happens? The new DNA formed is having some aberration. There is difference between the DNA produced by the same template. So what is happening? There are some changes in the, or there are error produced in the production of the new DNA. So these new changes or the errors lead to mutation. Sometimes, or you can say most of the time, the mutation that is occurring leads to the death of that organism. Suppose there is a genetic disorder in a baby, then it will die. But sometimes what happens, that a particular mutation leads to the trait which is helpful. For example, there were white moths and there was a mutation in the coloring or the gene which produced the color, and the color of the next moth or the offspring was black. So what happened, that due to mutation there was a change. Earlier there were similar species, but due to the error of the production, you can say error in the production of the DNA, there is new type of organism formed, and these organism, if that mutation is favorable, tends to form a new species of the same organism. Like there were earlier birds, but according to the need, the birds segregated themselves. There are different types of birds now. All the birds are developed from one single bird, and that bird was developed from a reptile. So that way you can see that how mutation works. So this theory is very important. This is the most correct and recent theory. Although the theory of natural selection received widespread support throughout the world, some people had reservations. The most serious among these was the small continuous variations were thought to be responsible for the origin of new species. In a way, therefore, Darwin had supported the idea of inheritance of acquired character, which had been infuted by many. Working on the evening primrose, Oenothora lamarckiana, Hugo de Vries came across certain large and discrete variations which were heritable. There was sudden change, like a white moth produced a black moth, and when the black moth again met, they produced black moth, because the black color was heritable. The offspring got that black color. He called such variations as mutation and proposed that these mutations were responsible for the origin of new species, hence evolution. So why evolution occurred? Because of mutation and the changing scenario of the world, the external factors which led to the selection of that species which mutated from the original one. Thus he proposed the mutation theory of evolution in 1901. These ideas are also referred to as Neo-Darwinism. So this concludes the theories of evolution. We will make more videos on biology. Hope you understood, and if not, then just drop a comment and I will try to explain it. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.